So today we're going to tackle something I've actually talked about several times on TV, but it it definitely deserves repeating again and again. And it's something that I was dealing with myself, so I figured, you know what? If it's something I'm dealing with, I am sure it's something you're dealing with as well. So a little different setting today, a little different. I'm sorry, it's a little kind of echoey sound in here, but we are in kind of our dressing room because this is where I do what we're going to talk about today. So, we're going to talk about packing like a pro. So that's what we want to do. And we have spring breaks coming up. I'm sure you have. I have a lot of traveling coming up, so it's something that is on my radar and probably on yours as well. Another reason why we want to really think about our packing for when traveling is those uh, or suitcase fees, luggage fees have gone up a lot. So we want to make sure we don't bring a lot of unused stuff or bring a lot of stuff that we're not going to use or that is just not appropriate for where we're going. And if you are like me, or I've been in the past, I've gotten so much better since I've now followed my own tips. Um, we tend to throw a lot of things in there and then kind of end up for a weekend trip with seven tops and two bottoms. Yeah. So it really takes a little bit of planning up front. And that way, you're not going to pay for clothes or pay for the weight of clothes you're not using. So, what are my top tips? I have three. That's all you need to think about. And I'm not going to talk about how you pack. I'm just going to talk about what you pack and what to think about. So, without further ado, let's jump in. So, the number one, my first most important tip is check your weather app for the destination where you're going. Well, there's a lot of crazy weather going on. We have summer in some parts, or like way hotter than usual in some parts of the country, and winter storms in others. So, all you need to know about the destination where you're going is right there on your weather app. All smartphones come with it. And it really is no excuse to be, sort of surprised by the weather. Sure, it can fluctuate a little bit, a few degrees here and there, but you're not going to be completely shocked for the winter that just arrived. We were in Atlanta this weekend. When we got there, it was in the mid to high 70s. And when we woke up 2 days later, it was 30 degrees. Well, thankfully, we knew that because I had checked the weather app. So, number one, check the weather app for your destinations for the days when you're going to be there. All right, number two, and this one always surprises people. Ba-ba-da-ba. We want to start from the bottom when planning our outfits. Start with the shoes because you know what? Especially wintertime, they weigh way more than our clothes. So you don't want to throw in a bunch of shoes at the end that really are gonna make those luggage fees go up. So what I say when you start from the bottom, what shoes are going to be appropriate? So wintertime, it's going to be a little heavier boots. Do you need flats? Do you need heels? How many or how few can you get away with? So just start from the bottom, pick out the shoes you want to wear that's appropriate for the weather. And then you build the outfits from the shoes. What outfits can I work with the shoes that I have? But it's so much smarter than just picking out a bunch of outfits and then noticing, oh my gosh, these shoes don't go with that. So now I need to bring 4 pairs. No. So start from the shoes. That's tip number 2. And then tip number 3, before you put it in the suitcase, lay it all out. Now, you might not have one of these handy dandy racks. I do recommend getting one. There's some really cheap ones at Target or Walmart. Amazon, I'm sure, that you can also kind of pull apart and disassemble when you're not using it. But I think this is the best thing ever. So every time I'm about to travel, I start pulling clothes and looking at them ahead of time. Because if you start putting it in the suitcase, you've forgotten what's on the bottom. And then you just keep adding and adding and adding. And then all of a sudden, you end up at your destination and they don't go together. None of the stuff that you picked. So before you put them in the suitcase, hang out your options. And then, of course, look at the days. Plan your outfits according to the days you're going to be gone. Again, you don't need 7 tops for a weekend trip, probably, unless you have a lot of events to go to. But put out the stuff that you think is appropriate for the weather, and then it's so easy to see, you know what? I don't need 2 dresses that are so similar. No, I'm going to pick one of them. Or I don't need 3 jackets. One is going to be enough. And what if I'm going to bring this skirt? How many different tops do I have that I could wear with it? So it makes it so much easier. So you have your days planned before they go into your bag or suitcase. That's it, my friends. Oh, just to add on to that, when you have your outfits out like this too, you can plan your accessories with them when they're hanging on the hanger. And if you don't have a rack or want to get a rack, you can also put it out on the bed, on the floor, anywhere where you kind of take full inventory of what you're planning to bring. But when you have the outfits out like this, you know the shoes you're wearing, then you can just add the accessories to it. And of course, this goes for men too. So if it's ties or scarves or whatever it is you're going to bring, belts, put it out ahead of time, look at it, plan it per day, then it goes into the bag. All right, my friends, that's my packing like a pro tip for this week. As I said, I am going to be traveling, so you won't hear from me for the next probably 3 weeks unless I jump in and do one from the road. But I will be back, and this gives you ample time to send me some dilemmas, style dilemmas that you have that you want me to fix. Just DM me or comment below, and I would love to hear what I can help you with. All right, until next time, as always, chic happens on the road as well, and see you next time. Bye-bye, safe travels.